Hello, everyone, and thank you all for joining us during the Lytham Partners Fall 2025 Investor Conference. My name is Roger Weiss, and I'm a Vice President here at Lytham Partners. Today, we're highlighting Sonoma Pharmaceuticals and are joined by Amy Trombley, the Chief Executive Officer, along with Jerry Devanch, Chief Financial Officer. Amy and Jerry will be taking us through their slide presentation, followed by a Q&A discussion. Sonoma Pharmaceuticals trades under the ticker symbol SNOA on the NASDAQ. Let's get started. Hey, Amy and Jerry, welcome to our conference.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. Thanks for having us, and we welcome everybody. And I'm glad to present Sonoma to you.
Excellent. I'm going to turn the floor over to the both of you to start the presentation.
All right. We flipped really quickly through the legal disclaimers. I'm sure everybody has seen those, but our presentation is available on our website, and it will be on an 8K with the SEC as well. So if you want to see it afterwards, please feel free to pull it off our website. A little just top highlight about Sonoma. We're a NASDAQ company. We've been listed and we've been around over 20 years. We're actually celebrating this year our 20th year of doing business in Europe. We've done business a little bit longer in the US. As just a grand overview, we really are the leader in hypochlorous acid technology. We've been doing it our entire 22 years we've been around. Hypochlorous acid, and we'll get into the science a little bit, but it has just a very vast number of applications. That includes wound care, eye care, dermatology, podiatry. All of the products we make for humans, just about we make for animals, and non-toxic disinfectants. So with our 20 years, we have an enormous amount of regulatory and science behind what we do. We'll go to the next slide. So, as I mentioned, we've been around 20 years, and in that time, we've only focused on hypochlorous acid. We were actually among the first to commercialize it and learn how to stabilize it. In that 20 years, we've developed over 100 research papers. We have 22 510(k) FDA clearances in the US, meaning we're being sold as a medical device. We had 39 CE markings in the EU. Those are being transferred over under an MDR system. All of our revenue producing products have made it through the MDR process in Europe. We also have extensive worldwide regulatory clearances, and we use those clearances. We have our main way of selling our products is through about 45 distributors in about 55 countries. So all of the regulatory we do with deep regulatory in the US and in Europe, as well as Asia and in, as I mentioned, 55 countries. We have a deeper regulatory portfolio than any other competitor that we're aware of. We've also sold millions of units. Our products are extremely safe. We've never had a serious adverse effect reported to us in any time. We focus on, as I mentioned, these just very vast markets of wound care, of dermatology, eye care, oral care, podiatry, animal health. These are all vast billion-dollar markets where we are, and we treat everyday conditions. And the last point I want to make is we are the manufacturer. We manufacture in Guadalajara, Mexico. We have a factory. We have about 170 employees in Mexico. The nature of our business is manufacturing and regulatory. We'll go to the next slide. And I just want to talk a little bit about the science. So hypochlorous acid, in its just very basic scientific understanding, it kills bacteria, fungi, and viruses while bringing oxygen to the cells and helping with healing. So virtually every kind of itch, pain, a lot of things will have a bacterial or fungal component to them. So we started in wound care. Our products are used for rinsing wounds, debriding wounds, and treating wounds. Our products are also very effective on burns, lacerations, but also in dermatology, our products, we have claims for atopic derm, for scar treatment, for daily care products as well. So it is a vast amount of applications you can use hypochlorous acid for. But what unites it is effectively we're killing bacteria and fungi, viruses within either wounds or conditions that are causing itch and pain. Hypochlorous acid is profoundly safe. As I mentioned, we've never had an adverse event. Anybody can use it. Hypochlorous acid is actually made within our own bodies. It would be impossible to be allergic to it. We've, like I said, never had a side effect. There's also no contraindications. It can be used with antibiotics, with steroids, with other common over-the-counter and prescription things. It's very cost effective. Our products are affordable. We do have reimbursements in the wound care space, but our over-the-counter products are all affordable for people as well. And you can't use too much and you can't become immune. So, between the safety, the studies, um, as I also mentioned, as the industry leader, we've developed a lot of technology around this. We have the longest shelf life of anyone we're aware of within the industry. We also have a lot of varieties of products. We have a solution, we have hydrogel, we have silicone, and that's why we have so many indications and much more than any competitor we know about. We are the manufacturer. Our distribution model is primarily to rely on distributors. So we do white label from our factory. We also have some of our own brands. And as I mentioned, we also have a facility in Mexico that is solely dedicated to making hypochlorous acid. And these are just little bits and pieces, but we have over 100 research articles, papers, studies that show the efficacy and the safety of our microcyn, and specifically our microcyn technology, our hypochlorous acid. And comparing to others as well as other products you could be using, showing that it is, as I mentioned, highly effective and extremely safe. So I've mentioned and rattled off a bunch of applications, and we'll go through some of the key applications for Sonoma, but these are generally the areas that we're selling products in today and where we have regulatory and studies. We started in wound care. That's the area we know best. It's the area where we have the best penetration with our distributors. We sell wound care in the US, in just about every EU country, in Asia, and many other smaller countries. We have a wide variety of products, everything from negative pressure wound care treatment. We recently introduced a pulse lavage. Our products are used to, as I mentioned, rinse wounds, treat wounds. We have a lot of data on diabetic foot ulcers. So this is an area where you're seeing some growth in our financials, especially in the United States. We did sign an agreement with Medline, is a new large distributor for us in the wound care space, and their primary channels for right now will be hospitals. And dermatology is the second area we focus on. So, dermatology, we have already indications for atopic dermatitis, scarring, daily skincare. In Europe, we actually have an acne product. We do sell an acne product in the UK. We have the eczema seal of approval, psoriasis seal of approval. In its pure form, hypochlorous acid can be marketed as all natural. There's no scent added, no chemicals. As I mentioned, it's profoundly safe. There's no adverse reactions. We sell dermatology through a wide variety of channels. We have OTC products, we have office dispense products, we sell prescription. We also sell white label, and we do sell in pharmacies as well through our distributors. We offer products that are both, as I mentioned, we white label, so we have very high-end products in the dermatology space with really beautiful packaging, as well as cost-competitive options as well. And eye care is also an area where we're expanding. We have an OTC, our US OTC product is pictured, the blue bottle. We have a prescription eye product as well. We have a blepharitis claim in the EU. That's where we sell Ocudox. And we also, as I mentioned, virtually all of our human products, we have an animal care component. So you'll see two products as well for animal eye care that are being sold in retail outlets. So our main path of doing business is we handle the manufacturing, logistics, shipping. We work with our partners to white label, and we typically develop all of the regulatory and have a vast body of studies, data, technical information. So pictured are a handful of our distributors in the global market, and Medline, as I mentioned, is in the US market. We ship into 55 countries, all from Guadalajara. And I'll just briefly touch on because it often comes up is the question of tariffs. Because we're shipping from Mexico directly to these countries, the tariff situation would really depend on the situation between Mexico and the country it's shipping to. So generally, there's low or no tariffs coming out of Mexico. The only exception would be for our US customers when the factory is shipping up to the US. And so far, no tariffs have impacted us. We are compliant with the treaty. So even if there were to be tariffs put on Mexico, to date, the treaty has been excluded. Obviously, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what the future will be. But to date, in some ways, it's an advantage for us shipping out of Mexico versus shipping out of the US. Typically, Mexico has much lower tariffs. This is just a bit about our manufacturing. As I mentioned, we have a modern, clean facility. We satisfy the regulatory schemes for all 55 countries that we ship to. We are FDA compliant, and we've listed a lot of our other regulatory on this page as well. And just a little bit more about our manufacturing facility. So if you've seen our financials, you'll see that we're showing quite a bit of growth. And we've been putting this slide up to investors for a couple of years now. And I think the big takeaway, and we can walk through it, is that we are executing on these plans. These aren't, off in the future. These are things we're doing now and have been doing, and they're starting to show up in our financials. So the first is we continue to introduce new high margin products. We have great penetration globally in wound care. That's where we started, and that's where we have continued to see organic growth, adding new partners, and we're known for wound care. But we're moving into and have had good traction in dermatology. So we continue to push on those high margin products and to introduce more. And if you look at our products, and we'll walk through them, but we've introduced some really nice new packaging as well, seeking those higher aesthetic dermatology and med spa practices. Our manufacturing facility is only about 40% capacity right now, so we can continue to grow without any major capital expenditures. It gives us a lot of room to stretch and to keep growing. We are working very much on the US market. It's our home market. So I mentioned the Medline deal. We signed that last year, and we're just starting to see sales as they work their way through the hospital system. We also signed a deal with the company Wellspring that we filed an 8K on. Wellspring is in the OTC space, and through Wellspring, we launched a product that is now in Walmart. It's a baby diaper wash. So we want to continue to execute on the OTC products. They're bringing us fast growth. But at the same time, we are pushing on hospital sales. It's our bread and butter. It's wound care. It's what we know well. So we're seeing growth in multiple channels in the US market, and we do intend to continue to focus on the US market. And then we continue to invest in R&D. We are the market leaders. We're typically the first to come out with new products. We have rooms of regulatory data and information we've learned over 20 years. So we are able to create new products, work with partners to co-develop, and we are consistently getting new regulatory, new data, and new products to market. And this slide, it just talks a little bit about our market opportunities, but the things I've mentioned, which are really everything from just daily little scratches, wounds, blister on your heel, sunburns. We treat things every human experiences, at some point in their life, to more complicated wounds. So we're in these sort of vast markets. And then in the dermatology space, we treat eczema, atopic derm, scarring, and just daily facial care, which again, sort of everything we're touching are vast markets. And then the animal health market as well with wound care. And we also have some dermatology products and eye products are also just very vast markets. So we don't feel constrained in any way by limitations on what our market opportunities are. So you can, if you read Sonoma's public filings, you'll see a lot of this information, and we've been pretty public about it. But we started on an OTC path for our products probably 2 years ago, and we're excited to announce that the first one is really hit. It's a baby diaper rash product. As I mentioned, our products kill bacteria and fungal infections, which are common in diaper rash. That product is in Walmart and on Amazon, and it's entering other large retailers, including supermarkets. And we do think OTC, and it is our plan for OTC to grow. Um, and then we have taken back and relaunched some of our prescription products as well. So we are expanding in the dermatology, and we do have an eye care product. So in the eye and dermatology space, those are just the sort of putting as much pressure as we can behind getting growth in those areas. I'd like to just talk a little bit about our regulatory, and I know regulatory can be the most boring part of any presentation, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But in Europe, they're going through a new system, regulatory system, where all the CE markings have to be transferred through this MDR system, requiring all companies to resubmit their regulatory portfolios, essentially. So we've already moved all of our CE markings that produced revenue through that system. And it sounds like a small, maybe bullet point, but it's been a heavy lift for every company selling medical devices in Europe. So we're very excited to be through it. We are consistently in the US developing new 510(k)s. The 510(k)s are important because they control label claims, what we can say our products do. We have a deeper regulatory portfolio, especially in the US, than any other company we're aware of, and it's what allows us to create all of these products. We also work with outside entities as well. We have an eczema seal and a psoriasis seal for our products where they've been tested with people who have those conditions. And as I mentioned, our business model is to work with distribution partners. We have a small sliver of direct sales, but the vast bulk of our revenues do come from partners. We are working with Wellspring. As I mentioned, they put our first OTC product for humans into Walmart in the US. And we do have, if you go back and look at our regulatory filings, Wellspring has agreed to look at additional products as well. We do expect OTC to grow. We do have a new acne product that's being sold in the UK in pharmacies as well. And we also have a new large agreement with Medline. So those are, and there is a little bullet for Ukraine as well. We actually just met with our Ukraine partners recently, and we are very proud to be working with them in wound and scar care and to be helping them in their war efforts. So we continually add, these are our largest new relationships we have, but we continue to add more partners and to help our existing partners to grow, whether that's adding more channels, adding more products. We co-develop products with our partners all the time. And when we have a great new product in one region, we love to introduce that to partners in other regions as well. And these are just, we're a public company. We know you can get in depth with our financials. So we don't spend a lot of time in our presentations on our financials, but we're really proud to report this type of progress. We had, great year over year numbers, but things are really starting to click in June. Numbers, we're a March 31st year-end company, so June 30 will be our first quarter of this fiscal year. But already revenues overall are up 18% and US are up 57%, and we're continuing to show improvement on our bottom line as well. So I always like to end the presentation just showing some of our products. And we manufacture, the vast majority of our business is manufacturing for our partners. We don't typically store a lot of inventory. So we're not holding any of these products at any given time. But these are some of the products you'll see in our portfolio that we sell around the world. So this is our United States dermatology wound care, eye care products. And these are also US dermatology. You'll see we're striving for higher end partners. So the Lumicin in the bottom corner with the gold packaging is a new premium packaging that we've introduced seeking the higher margin partners. These are our animal health care lines. Animal health, they're carried in PetSmart, Tractor Supply, Amazon. You can find them actually very easily on Amazon. And then these are some of our European Union products. We see there's wound care. That's a tiny fraction of what we sell in Europe for wound care. Animal health, we sell in Europe as well. And then these are some of our direct to consumer and OTC products. What you're seeing here is our branding. A lot of our products are white labeled, particularly in the US. I mentioned very briefly that we have a completely safe surface disinfectant. You can actually, there's a small video clip of how it's used in the Middle East and Australia and some other places in the world, but you can actually stand in the stream of that mist and it's completely, absolutely safe, doesn't sting or hurt, and it can disinfect a room with that machine. So, and we also have sprays, but we have great bug kill. Like I said, it kills fungus, bacteria. It's safe to dispose. So that's also a piece of our business. These are some of the products being sold in Asia. I actually just visited partners in China. We do have products in their hospitals with reimbursement. And again, some of our global products. So that's the presentation. I appreciate sitting through it. Everybody sitting through it.
Amy and Jerry, thank you for the presentation. I know we have about 5 minutes or so. Maybe we could take a couple of quick questions.
That'd be great.
Uh, Firstly, the company, as you've really gone through, has a lot of different products with different uses and applications. What are the fastest growing products that you look at in terms of the ones that we should be thinking about?
So about 2 years ago, we set out to do direct-to-consumer over-the-counter products, and the baby diaper wash is the first one that's really hit the market in a big way, and that's been launched into Walmart and Amazon supermarkets, and we're hoping it'll be picked up by other stores as well. We're launching that through our partner Wellspring. So we see that the consumer products, especially when they're being sold through large, vast chains like Walmart, that we're seeing some decent volume. And we do think the OTC has, for us, a rather fast sales cycle from product development, package design, moving it into the stores. So we think OTC has generated already some of our growth, and we're really happy to be executing on that part of our plan. The other piece is our bread and butter. We just signed a deal with one of the largest distributors in the US to hospitals, which is Medline. So hospital sales are slower to ramp because we need to go, train doctors, introduce the product. It's just a slower ramp. But once we're in hospitals and those sales are established, they tend to be sticky and long term and something we can build on. So we have both sort of rapid high growth, but also consistent growth behind that.
Got it. Thank you. And if I could follow up on something you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, you noted that for the quarter ended June 30, total revenues were up 18%, but US sales were up 57%. Can you talk a little bit more about what was behind that U.S. really strong effort?
hmm So US has been growing. We started with a smaller base in the US. Many years ago, before I started, there was a failed effort at selling dermatology and the company had not really focused on other channels. So that channel didn't work out and there really weren't many sales. So again, to just reiterate, we are executing and part of our plan that we developed was to focus on the US market. So Wellspring is in the US market, Medline is in the US market, but we've also signed additional distributors within the US market, and we continue to build our 510(k) portfolio and our regulatory so we can add additional products as well. It's an area we're just very innovative and at the forefront of the industry in. So the US market, because we've added both these large partners we've announced as well as other partners, we do expect to see growth in the US.
Got it. That's very helpful. And I'll ask one more question. Could you talk about what, in your opinion, are some of the key catalysts or key products that investors should be focused on as they think about your future?
hmm So I would continue to watch our OTC portfolio. We have some products we just sell under our own branding on our Shopify page that are available through our website. So you can see us there. But as I've mentioned, we're not really a DTC, we don't really distribute to consumer. A lot of our products are white label, but it'll give you a good sense of the types of products we have. So, if I were watching Sonoma, I would keep an eye on the consumer products. That's an area where we're getting a lot of traction.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you very much. I think with that, we are just about out of time. So firstly, again, Amy and Jerry, thank you very much. And thank you to all the folks out there who are watching this video. If you have any questions or would like to schedule a meeting with Sonoma Pharmaceuticals, please send my colleague Adam Lowensteiner an email at lowensteiner@lythampartners.com. Also, if you'd like to learn more about us at Lytham Partners, please visit our website at lythampartners.com or follow us on LinkedIn to stay connected about future events. And with that, I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you again.
Thanks, Roger.